You can be my wingman anytime, Yugi.
No, you say. You can be mine.
No homo, right?
All of the homo!
Hello and welcome to another YouTube channel. We're finally getting back into the flow of YouTubing because it's been forever since I actually uploaded a video, and I decided now for the next couple videos I think we should start going a little bit more pro, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to start actually by doing more clip studio tutorials and even like some great guidelines for you guys to try, and bonus, we will be doing exercises. I am not a teacher, but I do actually I do want to be a teacher, and I'm going to college to get a certification for teaching. I only need one more year. One more. That's it. But anyways, hi, I'm Luxani, and this is my partner, Doraemon. And then we also have Patamon, and we also got Gatomon, Flamedramon, Gobblemon's over here. And today we are going to be talking about gradients. Now, a lot of people get this mixed up with gradients and hues, but it's kind of essentially the same thing. There is a difference, but hues are just basically the saturation level of the colors, and the gradient is the actual technical term of what it's like, what it looks like. So they are two completely different things. But today I'm going to be going on Clip Studio program, showing you guys how to simple exercises that you guys can do to practice making more and way better shadowing and shades and much better gradients. And you guys are going to actually be surprised how well a stupid little shape can actually make something like more realistic and more entertaining and way more than you want. So it's actually really interesting. So first off, what we need is our pen. Second, a glove. Yes, we need that glove. We definitely need this glove, because if you are doing a digital tablet just like this, you're going to want to use a glove, because for one, it's a lot safer for you and a lot safer for your tablet, because it does prevent you from sweating sometimes, unless you really sweat so much, and it also prevents like the greasy pores of your own skin to get on the tablet. And also sometimes nails can cut tablets, and I thought that was crazy, but it's true. It's weird. Facebook, right? You read the craziest thing, but it's just a lot safer for you, and it's a lot better. Plus, you can glide across the screen a lot more easily. So much better. So, what you're gonna want to do is we're gonna be doing this first as an exercise. So you're gonna want to go to your file, and then you're gonna want to put new, and then you can pick whatever you want. I have like a lot of custom settings, but because this is just a tutorial. Excuse me for my stutter. This is a tutorial. I am going to be doing something just super simple. So we're going to do basic template. It's 800 by 1280, right? And it's in resolution 1200. I'm going to turn that to 300 dpi. This is in pixels. Your customs. If you want to use a customs, I do recommend an A4. That'd be pretty easy. You do want paper color if you're going to want that. So you can also change the color of your paper. So if you like are used to your tan, or you're used to black paper, because I know there are artists that just prefer black paper and just put white all over it, so that's cool. But for this tutorial and for practicing, keep it simple, keep it white, trust me. But it's a cool little feature that you can use. So we're gonna go this, and I'm gonna make it horizontal, only because this is gonna be a lot easier for you to actually understand. So we're gonna zoom in. And the first thing you want to do is you're going to want to make sure you have 4 layers at least. So we have 4 layers here. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And then what we're going to do is that we are going to go to the left side of where like the tools are at. And then you're going to see there's one down here called gradient, right? It's exactly what you're going to be using for this project and for exercise. But first, you're going to, just so you know where it's at, first we're going to do an ellipse. Ellipse essentially is just basically making already a circle, and then you can like transform it a little bit, like sway left to right, but it's just a circle, but they call it ellipse because you can tilt it a bit. So ellipse is that you have the option, you can have it outlined, or you can have it just inside color, or you can do both. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna have the color. Make sure you when you go all the way to the bottom page, I don't think you guys can actually see it because I'm on the camera, so might have to fix that. Here we go. So this is your tool property, and then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to click this one. It's just a create fill. That's it. So whatever first color that you have right here on this side is going to be the color that you're going to be using. So if you want to switch it out, you still can, but I'm going to be using, let's use blue. Blue is like an easy color that you can gradient. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this, we're just going to make an easy little circle, right? You're going to click it, and you can either, you see that? You can shift it. That's what the ellipse does. But we just want the basic circle, so we're just going to click on it real quickly, and you made a circle. So again, what you want to do is you want to go down to your to your left side of the toolbars if you have the basic template. If you do not, you can always just change it to in your Windows settings, and then you can just put your command layers and your workspace and how you want to do it. If there's like another artist you want, like their workspace, you can actually go download it within the Clip Studio program, and then you can get it from there. But as of right now, this is what we're going to be doing. And again, you're going to want to go to your figures, click on Eclipse, and then you're going to want to make a small gradient circle. That's it. That's all you do. So what you're going to want to do now is that when you're done creating this, you have two options on how to do this, which is pretty good. So the first thing you want to do is, a lot of artists actually don't do this because everybody says it's not that great and it's cheating, but it's ridiculous, is using the airbrush technique. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to the layer that you assigned the circle to, and over here you're going to find a lock transparent pixels. Now what that does is that it's going to lock the actual image inside. Like any color you put in will stay inside, but if anything is out, it will not do it. Let me show you a quick example. So we're going to pick a regular bold pen, and we're gonna color it in pink. So see that? That's not what you want. But if you do undo that, but if we lock that layer and we make the brush smaller, color stays in. So it's exactly what we're going to be doing. So what we're going to do is that we are going to shade it. So remember, there are 3 types of ways you need to shade. You need your highlight, the shadow, and you also need the bouncing light. The bouncing light is basically the light that reflects from, like, if this was on a table, it would be reflecting the color from the table onto it, which is why when you see realistic or realism type of art, there's a little bit of color that bounces off from the background, the foreground, the objects, and it helps you. So just remember that if there is a lot of light, you are going to want to capture that color and put it somewhere. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the airbrush technique. Now this is my favorite technique. So what I do is I actually use a soft brush. So my opacity is at 100%, my blending mode is normal. I have it at the 1 bar hardness because this is really perfect for especially like shading in and putting those details into it. You're going to want to have a continuous spraying, which is the best part. So what you want to do is make sure that it's not as big, but it's like a good size. So you are going to want to make sure you go to your sizes. I will be using a size 80. That looks pretty good. So, all right. So scenario, blue ball, right? Simple colors. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to go to color wheel. So a lot of people actually think that going to your color wheel means that you need to go down. That is not true. You do not have to go all the way down. Actually, the best thing for you to do is when you get the color, you actually rotate it. You rotate it, and then it helps you build up like a stronger, bolder color, or even maybe a more pale color if you're trying to go for like a pastel type. So we're going to get that color. Do you see the difference? No? Go a little darker. So we're going to make the left side the highlight and the right side the shading. So if you start to see, you can start to see it building up. And what you're going to want to do is, because it's like a little shaded, you want to go everywhere around it, okay? So go around the whole circle, like if you can. And then now we're going to go for like, don't just like shade it everything. Just create in a circular motion, You're starting to see the color coming out now, right? Yeah, so you're starting to see it. So what you're going to do is, like, now you're going to want to go a little bit darker. So usually realism takes up to like 4 to 6 different colors. So it's okay if you're using multiple colors. If you're only using 2, that's a problem. But just start using multiple colors. So you see? There we go. That's a nice shade right there. There we go. So that's perfect. So what we're gonna do is, like, you can cheat on this one now. The Clip Studio Paint already gives you an option to do a highlight. So this is the highlighting tool right here. And I personally love this tool, but I like to work it myself, you know. So we're gonna, because I don't want to ruin the highlighting, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to create a new layer and I'm going to clip it to the bottom, so whatever happens, it's still gonna be there. But no, it doesn't work with the highlight tool. The highlight tool has to be on the same layer. But because I don't want to use that, I want to use like a regular I want to use my regular one. So I also created a custom brush where it's soft light, but again, that also has to be on the same layer. But I'm going to be just using the soft layer for right now. So I'm going to be going in. I'm going to click on the right click. If you have the pen, you can right click on the color that you already had before, or click it on the left side. And then we're going to go just a little bit to the color section. So let's pick a color out. Here we go, you see? Yeah, so we're going to put this like right in the center, because that's usually like right when the color is at. Like when you look at the lighting, that's kind of where it's going to be at. So I'm going to actually reduce my pen size, so it's going to be a lot smaller so we can get into those details. So we're going to do this, and we're just going to keep going lighter, just as light as you can, And what we're going to do is that we are going to reflect it now. So we're going to put just a little bit to where it's like coming in. You see it? Yeah, kind of like that. You see? Alright, so it's already looking great, right? So, as I said, there is also a other lighting to it. So like, imagine if there was like something at the bottom, you're going to want to grab the color from the highlight, and then you're going to just put it under there. So we're going to use a smaller brush for that. I'm going to go to a 20, because you don't want to overdraft it like that. Like, that's too much. You want to give it like a subtle thing. So you're gonna go like this. See, that's kind of a bit too much now. So I'm gonna see if I can go smaller. Let's try it 12. Zoom in. Alright, and then I'm gonna go for an 80 so I can like, I don't technically use the whole brush on it, but I use like the side of the path of it. So you see? And that's how you basically start, you know, building up on the gradients. So what you're going to do for an easier, you know, time, just start right clicking and picking up your colors. If you have that as a function key, that's great. But if you don't have that as a function key, you can just use the eyedropper, which is right here onto your left side. It's called the eyedropper tool, or just click I on your keyboard, click I. Or if you want it as an express key, you can always function that too. But if you don't know what express keys are, don't worry, that's something you can work on. So you already have this, and what you're going to do is like, let me show you what happens if you put a highlight. So we're going to actually use the highlight tool, and we're going to go like a really pale blue. Let's go with this, or even let's try like a customized one. So this is what the highlight does. Like, you can see it gives it a very nice, beautiful, blurry color. We're not gonna keep it, but it gives you like a nice blurry color, and it's kind of nice and subtle, but it's like not always recommended, because many people say that the highlight tool is great, but if you do it yourself, like with just a regular soft brush, it's the same thing. But the highlight tool does make it blurry, so you do want to be careful that your drawing isn't too blurry. So that is one of the downsides to having to use a highlight tool. But I like it personally. I just wish it didn't like take as much blurriness away, because this is kind of a little too hard. Like, you see what I mean? It's just too much. So that's kind of why I don't personally use it, but I prefer the softer. I did customize the soft light though. That one, I admit, I really do enjoy. Maybe because I customize it, but it gives you like a really pretty light, like reflection. But that's mostly like when it comes to like morning sunsets and things like that. So that's a great thing. But this is how you're gonna want to start with your hue, and this is one of the techniques that you can use. Another technique is that people kind of like, when they're making webtoon comics, they love to do just gradients, like straight up gradients. So we're gonna do a customized one already. It's called Mid Sky. So what you're gonna want to do is, because I kind of already made this on a layer, let me just copy delete, and let me put this on a different layer, and then I'm going to paste it. There we go. So we have it on a different layer. Again, keep it, especially if you're going to be doing a gradient, keep it locked, because if you do not keep it locked, it's going to do the whole page, and you do not want that. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the gradient, go for it. There you go. So, you see the problem? You need to be careful with it. So the closer you are, you see that? The closer you are, the easier, the more color compacts that it is. But that's kind of a problem, because how are you going to be able to, like, you know, there is an advanced setting where you can make it more circular, if I remember correctly. Let me see. Yeah, like, let's see. I don't actually know if this program does it, because I've been trying for the longest time to find it, but I can't find it. Like, I for some reason cannot. But this is actually great, because I mean, if it does help you if you want to, like, do like a background. So this is gradients are great for, like, when you want to do backgrounds, foregrounds, you know, to just get the color blend. Because if you look at this clearly, look how smooth. That is really soft. It's pretty soft, and it's not too harsh in the color scheme. And also, it gives you like a nice effect to, like, this kind of reminds me of an underwater scene, you know. So it's kind of really nice. So if you just add, like, let's see, we're just gonna G-pen this. You see? Just work with it. Work with what you literally got. And we are going to make this dark. It's too dark. It's too dark. And then you can just, you know, make something out of this, you know. It's just something out of it. Two little aliens talking. Having a little picnic. The little soda cans. Looking at the sky. You know, it's just something great. This is great, you know. So I do recommend this if you want to. So you do have, like, you have more options. Don't worry if these two are just hard for you. But I think the best thing you want to do is you want to start, for exercises, you want to start creating circles. Circles are your best friends, because they're the most used anatomy. They're the most used within anatomy. The eyes are circles. The shape is like two circles. Your elbows are circles. Your hands can be circles on the, you know, ovals. And then there's a box square here. Your feet are circles. Your toenails are circles. You know, everything is circles. Your legs are just long ovals, so they're long circles. So if you really think about it, circles are like your best friend thing to do. So this is like the best way you can start practicing. I just did a kind of a little fast-paced job, and it doesn't look that great. I mean, it looks pretty okay, but I mean, you know. So what you're gonna want to do is just start paying more close attention to where your lights, your shadows, and then your backlight is at, because those are gonna be the ones that play the most important part. And honestly, I do think that this exercise was kind of dumb at first, because I was going to school and my teacher was like, start doing circles, and I'm like, stupid. You wouldn't believe how much of a game changer it was. It made me realize that I can do much better with my shading, because this is a drawing I had did, and this is without the knowledge of shading. And I kind of thought, you know what? Imagine my knowledge of shading. This would have been a game changer. This would not have been the way it is right now. So this really, really does help you out in the long run. But remember, if you just want to create, if you want to just change your colors, let's do a red, just for one more exercise. So what you want to do is, we're gonna red this. Wait, let's do this on a different layer. We're gonna red, which is a little oval. And then we're gonna lock it, and then we're gonna start getting into the colors. I'm gonna go more into an orange tone, so I can make it like a red brown. And then I'm going to be using my airbrush tool. I'm going to be using the Soft Air 0%, the one I had made. Now don't worry, you guys actually already have a soft function type of airbrush. So if not, you can always download these brushes on my personal Clip Studio account, which is great. I have them for free. I never put them for paid, because I feel like artists really do need help out there, and they're not the best. They're just like, you know, beginner brushes. So I'm going to be using my Soft Air 0%, or you can use your basic Soft Air, which is totally fine. But what you're going to want to do is make sure your hardness is all the way to just the 1 bar. And then we're gonna be doing, we're gonna do the, you know what? How about we do the whole bottom? Yeah, let's do the whole bottom. Yeah, so we're gonna do the whole bottom. See how fast this is? And then we're gonna go a little bit more. See? And then we're gonna do kind of a nice little highlight here. And then we're going to this is what we're gonna do. Alright. See what I mean? It gets a little easier within time. Don't worry about the mistakes. It's easy fix. And then you're gonna wanna go in. Yeah, see? Here we go. You're gonna make sure that your thing isn't completely flat. You kind of want to give it a round curve because this is a round object. So curve it in, curve it in, curve it in, curve it in. And then we're gonna do last here. And then sometimes it's at the bottom here too. Just a subtle one, not like too crazy. So this is exactly how you just basically start filling in, and you, no worries, you will become a pro at this in no time. This is just, you know, this is exactly all you need to do. So I hope this tutorial did help you guys. This is just your basics into learning how the pros of learning your hues and your gradients, sort of. Hues, yeah, this is your hue. The color wheel is your hue, so this is your best friend. You're gonna want to make friends with it, trust me. So I hope this does help. So hopefully hopefully you learned something. But I do have a question. At some of my videos, I do like to have a question for you guys to understand, or if you guys actually learned something. So what did you actually learn about the program? So it can be from anything from your layer locking to your airbrush technique to your, what pencils, what brushes you used, what shapes you wanted to use. And to be honest, like, you can use any shapes you want, but I think the circles are outstandingly the best ones because they're your go-tos. And plus, if you want to do the circles by hand and not just use the tool, it's honestly the same thing as just mine. At least you learn how to do a better circle. I cannot do a perfect circle for the life of me, so this is a lot easier for me. But hopefully this does help you, and you guys can be able to start practicing your own. And after the gradients, I do want to get into more of the line arts and line works because those are very important when it comes to especially cartoonists, inkers, and things like that. So can't wait for the next tutorial, and I hope you guys enjoyed this very much, and I cannot wait to be making more tutorials. Hope to see you soon, and remember, hugs, loves, kisses, goodbye, and live your art dream. Bye.